Accelerators, it's Diane Spadola, and this is your Thursday afternoon tune-up. It is episode number 82, and this video series is brought to you by Accelerate Your Success, the business booster program for entertainers. Jump on over to Facebook when I'm done and join my free Facebook group by the same name, Accelerate Your Success. There are all kinds of goodies in the files section, and you can download them all for free. Think of this video as your information and inspirational pit stop before the race, which is your busy weekend. Do you ever have one of those days where you just want to go back to bed and hide under the covers? Well, I'm having one of those days, and although my neighbors think that I can blame it on the hurricane, Laura, and I wanted to know, who is this Laura and why is she messing up my day? I honestly don't believe that it's a hurricane. To start with, I had no internet when I got up this morning, okay? Didn't know I didn't have any internet until I realized that all my messages were not being sent. Then I discovered that last night I had created a second Instagram profile and linked it to the wrong Facebook page. And because of the internet being down, I couldn't actually change that. And when I did get back on Instagram, it was under my previous profile, which was linked to the correct page, but not the one that I want to promote right now. Then I decided to go to the post office, thinking getting some fresh air, getting out of the house would make a big difference. Tried to put on some lipstick, and the actual lipstick part of my lipstick holder fell out and landed on my driver's seat. Okay? Now we're talking about the sticky gooey part, not the plastic part that holds it. Being a hot day and having a hot seat in the car turned that into quite the mess. Came back, still no internet. It came on for about 15 minutes, but then it went back off again. And then I started to receive about 100 texts from my neighbors, all talking about the fact that they can't watch TV. My little tiny violin is playing for them. So, I know that this is that magical time of the year that parents look forward to. It's called back to school. Yes, I used to dance around my house singing, "It's the wonderful time of the year." But for you this year, if you're a parent, there is no safety and sanity in those three words, back to school. Things are very complicated, world over. Are you going back in person? Are you going back part of the time? Are you going to do virtual? Are you going to do virtual part of the time? Is your school district having a hybrid situation? Are you going to go back and then they're going to get sent home? Is there quarantine involved? Is there testing involved? It's messed up, okay? And it happens at a time when normally we would be getting very, very busy, at least those of us that live in the Northern Hemisphere. So what I'd like to encourage you to do is take a breath, a big, deep breath, and think a little bit about what's left of this year. Try not to get overwhelmed, and understand that there is still a possibility of finishing the year strong. Maybe not in the traditional sense of bringing in piles and piles of cash from your fairs and festivals and your Halloween gigs, but you have to think about what goals you have for finishing the year strong. And your goal might just be to stay top of mind with your customers. So I'd like to encourage you to do a little bit of goal setting on that first day of school, maybe when your kids are connected to their virtual Zoom, or maybe in the first day that they're off on that bus, the way you've been looking forward to after having them home for 6 months now, or so it seems. So I'm going to give you some suggestions for how you can set forth on your goals, and I'm going to give you some science behind some of the things that you can do to make sure that those goals get accomplished. There was a really famous study done one time where they actually gave some goals to two separate groups of people, and then they added certain tasks for each of those groups of people. The goals were the same, but one group had to write them down. Another group had to talk about how they were going to get them accomplished. Another group still had to formally commit in front of the rest of their group members that they were going to accomplish that goal. And then the last group, and the one that was the most successful, created an accountability buddy relationship where they checked in with each other to see if those goals had been accomplished on a periodic basis. So I'm sure you know what's coming, but here are my 5 tips for achieving your goals before the end of the year. And I'm not just talking about business goals. I'm talking about back to school goals, house cleaning goals, crafting goals, maybe something that you want to do for personal development, getting your kids in line, getting your spouse in line, whatever it happens to be. Setting a goal is the first step to making it happen. So number 1, the first thing you want to do is you want to write your goals down. Writing your goals down will be one step closer to actually formulating a plan to accomplish them. I bet you know what step 2 is. Yep, it's formulating the action steps, those little tiny baby steps to move in the right direction. And it doesn't really matter how big the action step is or how small, as long as it moves you forward in getting that goal accomplished. Third, a public pronouncement. So let's say you put on Facebook that you're going to do this by this date. You commit to 365 days of painting. You commit to pivoting your business in a certain manner. You commit to staying in touch with 100% of your customers. Okay? If you make a public pronouncement, it's much more likely that you're actually going to accomplish that goal. Fourth, and the one that you all know is coming, is get an accountability partner. Yes, an accountability partner that doesn't do anything except encourage you and check in with you on a periodic basis. They don't need to know, in terms of being an expert, what you're trying to accomplish. They just need to know to check in with you periodically, and just knowing that they're going to be getting in touch with you can help spur you towards accomplishment. So get an accountability buddy. In my membership group, The Driver's Seat, I assign people to be buddies with each other at periodic basis so that they can in fact get to know each other, create a little community, and help the other person achieve their aspirations. And lastly, and this is just from me, no studies to prove it, but I think you should reward yourself for completion of your goals. Maybe even the small baby steps. I know today, when I put down my calendar, close my computer for the last time, I am going to reward myself with a margarita because it's been one horrible day, thanks to technology and this mysterious hurricane named Laura. If you need some help getting your goals accomplished, I encourage you to join my Accelerate Your Success Facebook group and let us reward you with or gifts or atta girls or atta guys, whatever you might need. We'd be more than proud to share in your celebration. See you next week.